Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Can you everyone see my presentation and hear me?
Yes, all good.
Excellent. Okay, once again we are here because I would like to speak with you about DAX tweaks for graphical diversification of your reports. As was mentioned, I'm Štěpán Rešl. You can call me Steve because I think it's much more easier for you to pronounce. I'm co-founder of company Data Brothers, which is a company here inside the Czech Republic, but we are not working just here. We are working over Europe, and we focus primarily on reporting that brings businesses the realistic view of the problem and its causes. With that, I'm also the author of website Jak na Power BI, which can be translated as How to Power BI, and it's a blog or website for Czech and Slovakian people here. As was mentioned, I'm also on Twitter and LinkedIn. You can find me here with these two texts. And I would simply switch to another slide, which is about the cheat sheet that has been already mentioned too, so thanks for that. In this particular moment, the cheat sheet has 3 pages: overview page, Power Query page, maybe I would say it more like query language page, and the newest one, which is a DAX one. I really hope that these pages will have a German version too. So maybe one day, and you can find all of them on Kratos BI. If you don't want to be looking for them on the website, you can just scan now this QR code and it will take you here. You have it? Okay. So switch in some theory and basics because we have just 45 minutes, so I really have to go through that quickly. I think you all know that DAX can do very interesting graphic stuff inside the Power BI with your data. But let's start from the beginning. With DAX, you can somehow switch colors. You can do it thanks to hexadecimal code, which is provided like hashtag red, green, to blue. Thanks to this, you can be switching colors how you prepare it inside the DAX. So you can use your switch functions or your if functions. Just depends on how you use it. But sometimes you want to use opacity also inside your functions. If you ever used the opacity, so you add inside the hexadecimal code last 2 numbers or digits from 00 to FF range, you can find out that it's not working on 100%. In some cases, it will really add the opacity inside your report, but sometimes it will change all your color into the black one. So if you would like to use the opacity inside your functions, just be, how to say it, patient with that. Mostly it's able to use if you're working with text. If you want to use opacity on the text, I would say 90% it will work. In other 10% it will just go black. Someone just has opened the mic. Given. Okay. Okay, we have their colors and opacity. Next to it, we know that with DAX, we can switch text, especially when we want for our customer to more understand what's happening inside your reports. If you look in a picture, I have here just a simple average. Average is that has set it up a color. But I really don't know for what this average is. If it's for a specific year, specific month, or some product, I really don't know. So mostly it's really good to use function selected value to put your text inside. Sometimes inside the titles, sometimes inside the categories. Just depends, but it can really help. But still, why I'm here using about this basic stuff? Because once you really understand what everything you can build with these small steps, you can build a much bigger and bigger stuff. And we will go to it. When you know that you can work here with colors, with opacity, with text, what about emojis? Yeah, emojis also, because emojis is just a text, so I will quickly skip it. But what I can't miss is SVG images, because even them you can use with DAX. There are many ways how to get them inside the report. One of them is to get your SVG file into the Power Query, and thanks to function text.fromBinary, you will take a text from that, and if you combine it with something which is here inside the presentation, these two steps, it depends if you have SVG in a UTF format or base format, you can really call them into the metrics or tables, just depends. But wait, if they are a text because we took them with a function text from binary, can we somehow switch the colors inside? Yeah, maybe if you would use function substitute, you would be able to provide it. Let's say I would like to switch the background image of the Power Apps to green. I will just simply transform it thanks to two substitutes, because in the first one I will change the bottom part of color, and next to the second one, the top one, and it will change. But hey, okay, we're just switching colors. It's still the basic. It's nothing else. Yeah, because inside the DAX, if you're working just with tweaks, you just have to really figure it out how and when to use them. And sometimes you will have to grab something even more complicated, like Tabular Editor, to which we also today will look. Someone want to say something? If I would be too fast, just say me. Sorry, I'm maybe too hurried.
No, it's perfect.
Okay, okay. So we touched the basic theory, but let's practice. How many times have I encouraged to need to show, for example, the trend of sales of products? In such case, I only need basic information for the end users, which will tell me from what volume to what volume of sales the product got within the timeline. This means that I want to see the first and last label of the result. Sure, we can set density labels inside the visual, but have you ever tried to figure out how to set up these density labels just to get first and last label? Because you can set up it here from 0% to 100%. But even if you use 0%, you will still receive much more labels than you think. It really wouldn't be a zero. So let's try to build this graph, which is before you inside the presentation, with me. Yes. Okay. Can you see the PowerPoint presentation? Oh, sorry, the Power BI again?
Yes.
Exactly. Super. So I'm inside the Power BI. I have here very fundamental model. Is here a sales table, the salesman table, date table, price list just with products and prices of what has been sold, and one measure table. Nothing else is in this model. So if we want to start, I would start with that I would create the line chart. So let's build very simple line chart. To an axis, I will put the year. And inside the sales, let's say I would put a quantity because I want to know how much sales has been here. Oh, okay. Because once before I used the Tabular Editor, I can't really just simply put it inside. So I will quickly create a new measure, which will sum the quantity for us. So sum of quantity. Okay. In this moment, I can see here that I have 2019 and 2020. So I have here 2 years. Because I have just 2 years, it would be much easier to create first and last label. Because if I would just simply start data labels, hey, I'm finished. I have everything which I need. But okay, we know that's a cheat. So let's switch from a year to month. Once I put month into axis and throw year away, I will receive on every single point my data label. Even if I would go into data label section and put label density to 0, I will still be able to see here the 4 points with data labels. So let's change it just to 1. How to start with it? Maybe I can create a DAX measure that will appear just on a single point and a last point. So I will say that I want to create my new measure. I will call it first and last. And I will start with a DAX. At the beginning, I would like to know on which point in graph I am on an axis. So let's create first variable that will be called selected month, because on axis I have a month. So selected value, because I want to receive a specific month on which I am. Next, what I will need is somehow figure it out from my data where the start of a specific year is or the end, because I even don't have to have a full amount of data. I really don't have to have full year. So let's set up a second variable that will create a filter for me. Date filter also. I just want everything which is going inside. And I will take the sales because I want just the data from the sales. And thanks to that, I will took the data from the date. Now, when I have my date filter prepared, I have to receive start and I can say a minimum date and maximum date from it. So another one that will be called min result. From that, I would like to create get min x from a table date filter from a specific date. I know that inside the sales, I have my date column. So I will just simply address it. From this, because I have here the month axis, so I can take a month from it. Way I will receive my max result. So simply max date filter sales date. Close all bracket. In this moment, as I mentioned, have minimum result and maximum result. Now I can just simply call return and use my switch function, where if true, I will get back the result as itself. So I will just receive the point where it is. But how in this moment say, hey, okay, I'm on a maximum point, okay, I will show data. So if I'm using the true statement as expression, I will just simply call it selected month, which I've prepared here. And now I have two or more options how to provide what I'm looking for. For me, the easiest way would be just to say, hey, take the month on where you should be and look inside some kind of list. And if you find the same value inside the list, call the result back. So I have to prepare the list also. So list and into this bracket, I will just simply put min result and max result. So if selected month, so my point will be found inside the list, it will take back no quantity. If not, I will just simply call a blank. Okay, I prepare it and just simply put it inside the graph just to see if everything works. As you can see, I have here the last point, but not a first one. Why? In the beginning, you could see that I had here 2 years, 2019 and 2020. If I didn't use any filter, I can say that 2019 wasn't completed. So maybe from 2019, I have just data from 12 months. So I will just use here a year also as a slicer. I will switch it into the draw box and simply try to filter. If I would use 2020, you can see I have here 2 points that has been connected. If I would use 2019, yeah, we are just on a 12 month. Okay. We are inside the year 2020. Why I have these dots connected? It's because Power BI works with the line chart. Like, hey, I really want to somehow connect all your dots. So it will just create a whole line. How to create something that will be not connected but still visible? I will switch from a line chart to line and clustered column chart. And my original measure, sum of quantity, I will took to a line chart. In this moment, you can see you have here 2 different charts, so 2 different columns, and our original line. Okay, let's just do quick color changing. So default color I will switch to white, and inside data labels I will use customize series, and I will turn off the first, okay, not the first and last point, but I will turn off data labels for sum of quantity. Once I've done it, I can find out that I have here really just the first point and the last point, but I had to use for it the combine chart. And what will happen if I would have to use, or I would like to use, some kind of diversification? Like I would take the product name from a price list and put it inside in small multiples, or use it as a column series. If I would do that, it will everything broke. So we have to find here a better solution. The better solution would be use external tools. In this demo, I would like to use Tabular Editor 3, and I really have to thanks to Daniel for it, because this is absolutely astonishing tool. I will just simply wait once it open. Yeah, we know there's a new version. And if you've never been inside a Tabular Editor, the old one or the third one, this could be a new experience for you. But if you've ever been here, so I think most of you have ever been here before, even once, so you would know how this works. But okay, let's start from the beginning. Inside Tabular Editor, I can see my model here in the right side. In a tables, I can find all my tables with their definition if there has been created inside the DAX. If I would just click on the tables with the right button of my mouse, I can create something which is called calculation group. Calculation group enables me to create a reusable calculation groups or calculation items that just use your inputs and recalculate it how you prepare it. So you can create reusable measures here, items. I will create new calculation group. Just simply rename it. In this moment, I will just take the name, just make it more compact. And into calculation group, I will go inside calculation item and create my first calculation item, so the reusable one. Once I create it, it has name new calculation, so I will switch it, the name, to first and last point. It doesn't matter if it has same name as the measure that has been already inside the model, but or just to be calm, I will simply add something behind, so calculation. And in the left side, you can find the expression editor. This expression editor is just looking forward when you put inside your DAX measure. So I will take the whole measure that we've prepared before, the first and last point, and copy paste it into the expression editor. Once I'm inside, you can find here that it's already telling me that something is wrong. Yeah, we are not using the names of the measures here, because we're not inside a measure as itself, we're inside a calculation item. So I just simply delete it, and it can be everything. But if you want to use it really reusable for anything, I will just delete this sum of quantity. the measure that we used before. And for that, I would use something which is called selected measure. In this moment, if I would save it, you can see here that it's saying, hey, please refresh your model now. Okay, I will refresh it. And into my model, the calculation group has been added. If I would go inside the data view, I can find here the calculation group already added the first and last point / calculation in ordinal -1. That all can be changed. Let's say I would took out the first and last point, and I would use the columns, oh, not the column series. I would use calculate from the calculation group. Oh, I put it still inside something. Sorry. Now I'm clear. From the name inside the calculation group, I will create, let's say, a slicer. If I would click on it, you can see that everything else disappeared from the graph. Why? Because it didn't know from which year to take. Once I choose 2020, the slicer with the calculation group recalculate the whole measure sum of quantity. I would simply put it into column values so it will be able to see, and I have to switch the color. So yeah, it's on the month 1 and month 12. But if I would put it inside line chart, I still have just 2 dots that has been connected. Let's get back inside the Tabular Editor. This specific calculation item that we has prepared can be reusable for anything which we put inside, as I mentioned, thanks to selected measure. But what I didn't mention that inside the Tabular Editor, you can even transform the format string expression. That means how the result that the string result will look like. So let's start from scratch. Next to calculation item, next to first and last point calculation, I will create another one. For its expression, I will call just selected measure, nothing else, because I want to use the whole measure that has been put inside. I will recall it last or first and last points others. I will switch from expression to form. Oh. I will just simply go back and then it will work. Sorry. I just click Ctrl S before the knife. I will switch from expression to format string expression, and into this part I would copy my original expression that I used inside the first and last point calculation. But once we are speaking about format string expression, we are not really speaking about selected measures itself. We have to speak about its format string. That's something how the measure will look like after it will be calculated and used inside the Power BI. So I will use select format measure string. But for a blank, even if I would save it, okay, I will take it out in, let's see what's doesn't hold any, oh yeah, sorry, refresh now. Okay. So points and others, it will simply drop. Why? Because if we open it, it will say that format string definition must have DAX expression which is only type a string. If I would go points and others, format string expression blank. Okay, let's switch it to Unicode and some Unicode that look like the blank, maybe 8203. Yeah, you want to proceed it. Oh, I forgot one bracket. I just simply let it recalculate. And in this moment, even if we're inside the line chart with a single select, with a single measure inside the values, I will just take it from a secondary value to normal values. I can see here only my last point and first point as itself, and they are with the labels, but the later data labels can be taken to density 100%, and still it doesn't matter because everything has been calculated thanks to calculation group. That is saying it will calculate. Sorry. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. Everything has been calculated thanks to format string, that we know that it's taking the first point and the last point, and only for them it's returning the selected measure format string. For everything else, it will return blank or something that seems like a blank. In this moment, even if I take the project name into the legend, I will be able to see for every single product my first and last product label. But wouldn't it be even better if I would be able behind the graph to see the product name of itself? Like if the category would take with the format or the data label on the end. Let's try. I would add inside a format string expression one more var that will be selected product. So again, I will call selected value product from a price list. I will take a product name and I will simply combine it with selected format string. Okay, between these two, I will just put the space because it will be much more easier to see. I will also add here another slicer just to be able to say, hey, I just want to see a few of them, just not all. So I will take 5000 power bank or intelligent table lamp. As you can see, on the right side, you can see intelligent table lamp, but also on the left side, because in this moment, thanks to format string expression, we're providing select product with start and also with the end point in a graph. So let's change it because we want to see only the last point with the selected product. So I will just simply delete the list itself and say, hey, if selected max is equal to max result, save it, and in this moment, I'm able to see the intelligent table lamp with its result. If I would take 2 of them or 3, every time I will receive the name and the result point. So in this case, it's much easier. Even I can switch to 2019, where I can see everything again. Yeah. Only thing that I would have to be aware is the epsilon axis. So I will just in this moment took away with titles, because titles are something which we really don't have to have. And in this moment we also didn't need the legend, because on the back of our graph we have our own legend. Thanks to colors, data colors, we can set up a specific color for specific product. So yeah, hey, it's pretty nice how to receive the graph with legend on the back. And because we are really close to finish, I will just very quickly went through one more thing. I will duplicate the page, because in this moment we combine the text, we combine the colors, we combine the result, the points, just thanks to the DAX. I will take away the legend. I will close the calling into calculation group, and I will switch to clustered column chart. Why? Because in another case, you can just simply ask, hey, I want to know where is the highest price and where is the lowest price. So top one or bottom one. Even this can be produced thanks to calculation group and thanks to calculation items. So let's simply switch into create new calculation items and say we will recall it like min and max value from graph. I will start from scratch and I will create the variable for all the visible dates again. So date filter, not a blank one. But in this case, I know that I will have to recalculate the whole table for each parameter, because once I will calculate every single month, then I can say which one was the highest and which one was the lowest. So my date filter will be calculation table, where I will receive my values from table date key. Hit key and say, hey, I want again all selected. Okay, we have our date filter. Now we can receive the highest one. First, I mean the highest result. So again, max. I will take it from a date filter with the selected measure, because we want to create it that it will be able to use for any measure that I would put inside. So highest or lowest. Same steps. And for minix, table, date filter, selected measure. Okay, so we have highest, we have minix, so lowest. Return, and I want to return switch Rule. Selected measure. Two variable highest. Systematic true highest. Then I will just simply call again selected measure for. Oh, sorry, I'm still doing inside expression. And then I will just simply recopy it into right part. So selected measure again. So highest or lowest.
Can you zoom in a little bit, please, Steve, just to so we can see the DAX a little bit better? Is that possible in TE3? Just to zoom in a little bit more on the editor window. Okay, cool. Thank you.
No problem. Just say. Runs on card again. 8203. And yeah, I will now take it from the expression where it should be on the selected measure, sorry for it, to format string expression, where this will provide exactly what we were looking for. So yeah, again, refresh it now. We received another point inside the calculation group. And in this case, just it didn't show anything. But why? It's also when I would go back. It's the highest. I just have to review if I have the same number of date key. True. Oh, I will take away this. I will just simply go through when I know that I'm in this moment just forget something, but I'm just looking forward to looking forward. Selected measure format string. It's here. Calculate table. Values from the date key, also the date key. Selected measure string. Okay, in this case, I'm really screwed because I really don't know why. Okay, I know, sorry. Still, it depends on what you have on side on axis. So I had here the month. If I would take here a date, you can see the labels will appear because inside my DAX formula, I calculate table with values from a date key, but only with all selected for a date. I wasn't taking the photos out from a month. So if I would just simply switch from my axis from date to month back again, and inside of all selected, I would take a month, save it. Yeah, I want to proceed it. I will go back to recalculate. And next, date key, month. Yeah, okay, I understand it. Sorry, in this moment it would take much appreciate the change inside the code because if I remove the filter from a date and I'm still filtering on a month, I will have to use also from a date and from the month. Then I can summarize it and squeeze it together. So in this moment, I will take it with this way, and the similar way would be able to use for a month, year, and etc. and other types. So, and if I'm correct, I've run out of time. If not, I can go for another demo, but I'm not sure now.
No, I think, well, it's 10 minutes until we get to 7 or 8 CST. So we can, if anybody has any questions that they want to ask,
Yeah, of course.
ask any questions now. Well, we didn't get any in the chat, so I'm not sure whether does anybody have any questions they would like to ask? There's nothing coming through. Everyone's just in stunned silence, perhaps.
Maybe they're waiting for more.
There would be even more possibilities because when I've been thinking about what I can say inside the DAX tweaks, I find out that there's about 70 types of graphs that can be provided just thanks to Tabular Editor and the calculation groups. And it was just, hey, let's show them this one and this one and this one. Oh my. So I took it from the easiest and just I'm stepping on them and going up and up.
No, it was a really good way to build it up. Can you just show the code again for the max value for the graph? For the
the min and max.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It was more on the okay.
It's for Bradley, if I can see it right.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Do a quick screenshot or something, I would imagine. All right, cool.
So we can ask the attendees if they like to see one more thing. So everyone who can raise the hand, and maybe Steve will show us one more thing.
More. Yeah.
I have one more thing that which for you really don't have to use Tabular Editor, and still it can make a really wow effect at your customers.
Then I guess we can make one more thing.
Okay. Just simply imagine one day a customer came and said, I would like to see the percentage of sales for individual retailers, but I want to see only top X products for each of them, and all other products should be combined into separate category that will be called other. Just if you imagined, would be easy, or it's something that if some customer came, you would say, hey, what? Yeah.
Yeah. No, carry on. I think I know what I'd be saying what.
Okay, because this really happens to us, and in the first case, for us it was really, what did he just said he wants? Okay, this will be interesting stuff, so let's try to build it. I will go back into Power BI, set up a new page. Let's say that I have here's my salesmen. I will take them inside table and switch it into 100% stack bar chart, because he said that he wants to see the percentage ratio of a product. So okay, from a price list, let's take a product name into the legend and let's say some quantity into the values. First of all, I have here the typical 100% stacked a bar chart, I will click for data labels and just turn off the decimal places because I really don't know. I really don't know why to show the two of them in this case. I will also close a title for X and Y axis. And let's start. I know that I has to build something that will enable me to make these products into the categories. For every employee or every salesman, I need a specific category, the top one and the bottom one. So I will start with creating this category. And I went inside just saying, hey, okay, let's build a new table from it. I can say that inside my new table that will be called table of products, I will need just to receive the product that I really have. So var real products. And I know I have here a table that's called price list. So let's take a select columns, and from the price list, I will just take the columns that I need. So price list, from which I will take first column that for me, I will call it ID. So let's call price list ID. Let's call the second one that will be name. So price list, not product price, product name. And the last one that I will label as a product. Why? Because I need to separate real products and my fake category other, in which they want to drop all the other sales, all the other trades. So, okay, I have here the real product. What I have to do now, I will recalculate them and just get the number of rows. So I'm really just trying to get how many products I really have inside my company. So, okay, counter rows, just call it count rows from real products. Why? Because I have here some kind of ID. That ID is typical one, so it's column 1, 2, 3, 4, and it just adding up with 1. So if I want to add into the real products another category, I can create my own ID like that I will count all the rows and add 1. So hey, it's my new ID, and in the next recalculation of the whole model, it will be recalculated too. So I will receive a new ID if some product will be added. In that case, I will just simply union the real products. So the first selected table and my new table that has to be in the same order. So ID first, so rows, other, and now the label that will be others. I have here products, I have here others. I will just simply close the bracket. Okay, my new table just appeared. Yeah, we need the same number of arguments. Product name, products, labels, others. It's here. No. So yeah, it created. Sorry, I just forgot on few brackets inside. So if I would go into the tables of products, now you can find here the IDs, the products with the new head one, the name, which is called other, with a new ID and label others. It's a disconnected table. It hasn't been connected to any other table. So if I would go inside the calculation, inside the visual, and take a table of product, so name into the legend, everything will look same because it's disconnected. So it's calculating for everything if ever. Now we has to prepare the DAX function that will be calculated. So simply sales new measure, create TOPN sales var and products. I'll just say 4 of them. After that, you can edit with your what if parameter, and you can switch it how you want to. So another thing, and I know what will be inside my top N or bottom N, just depends on how I would look on it. I need to create some ranking groups. So ranking group will be just my selected value from newly created table of products. So table of products, and I will take the label. If I'm working with a label called products, I know that I have to do with them something different than with the others as it is. So, okay. Receiving the ranking group, I know how many end products will be. Now I can calculate my top products. So top N with end products, and now again all selected from table of products, and I will take it as a whole, and I will use my sum of quantity. So for the whole table of product, I will receive top 4 by the sum of quantity. Once I'm receiving this table, I can use it to refilter the table or the calculation as itself. So sorry, return, switch. And I will be switching my ranking group. So for every selected value, I will just compare it if it's products or others. In other case, I will return nothing. So in this case, I will just go blank. For a products, I will have to calculate my sum of quantity just for products that has been found inside the top end. So I have to keep the filter. We'll take two products. And inside the others, I will now build some more variables for it. Variable, my top calculated state, sum of quantity by top products that has been found also, or in all amount calculate sum of quantity with all selected table products, effectively, well, table of product. Because now I have calculated sum of quantity for all inside the table of products. And for that one, that's just inside the top products. In that case, once I have these two, I can build my result that will be all amount minus my top calculated. So I will simply return it inside again. And I will close it. Once I build this measure, I will put it inside the bar chart as a values. In this moment, it will look like it was before, just 14, but only for a few of them. So what just happened inside? I have there four for ranking groups. I have here a table of products. I will just simply look here. Product. Look back. From the top products, I have TOPN. It's my top products, all selected table of products and sum of quantity. While I'm inside the ranking group, I have the products, calculate sum of quantity, where I'm keeping all the filters from the products. And inside the others, I'm taking top calculated, where I'm just calculating again the sum of quantity for the products again, all amount for all of that, and in the result, I'm just returning it. Yeah, it doesn't matter, but so I have here my employee, and it says my name from this. Taking the label. Yeah. I'm just trying to figure it out where I just make it wrong. Sorry for that. So I would go. Yeah, it will disappear. Yes. On the label, it shows everything inside the product, but nothing into the others. So that would be the result. So I will keep the filters here also. All selected, table of products, that's right, sum of quantity. Sorry. In this moment, I'm not really sure when I make it wrong. So
I guess that's no problem. So maybe you can make a blog post about it, and then we can see the solution.
It's the one way. Yeah, it's the possible way. Sorry to everyone. I completely messed this.
Yeah, that's no problem. But I guess we have some questions, Gavin. Did you already go through this?
Oh, I figured out. Sorry. Thanks, Gopa, inside the chat. Yeah, I can have a tweet as inside, or I can just connect the ID from a table of products to the price list. And in that case, I will receive my other here. So I will just go to a legend, the position. I will just take it to a right. And if I would go back for a last time, I can set up name, sort by the ID. And now it's working.
So perfect.
Yeah, and now it's recalculated. Sorry.
No, it's perfect. So a little bit troubleshooting is
Yeah.
good. So to see also MVPs sometimes struggle with such things.
I would say definitely.
Okay, so do we have some questions to Steve, or is all clear? Okay, so I guess they are overwhelmed from your presentation, and I thank you, and it was very, very good, and I learned also some new things here. It's very good. Yeah. So thanks, Steve, and maybe we see
You're
us
welcome.
in another power break again. And
I hope so.
Yeah, maybe. And I will deliver the translation from the chat sheet in German soon, so that it's also available then in German.
I have to thank you guys. For me, this was very interesting experience. To be honest, this was my first time when I was presenting in different language.
But it was good, so it was very understandable. I could follow very good, so yeah.
Thanks. I really appreciate it. And especially I thanks Gopa for the tweets he wrote inside, because it really turned on my mind again.
Okay, good. So thanks, and I wish you a very pleasant evening or morning or wherever you are. And we see us in the next power break. And bye.
See you guys. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Bye bye.